Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. I'm hoping today's going to be a quick one because I've got some Zoom training starting in about 20 minutes or so. So let's try and get through this one, shall we? So today's book is called Rule of Righteousness. This is book number 16 in the Exceptional Sophia Beaufont series, also known as The Uncommon Rider. It was originally one massive book, all 24 books, I almost said 26, that's a different series I'm reading, all 24 books. I've got less than 10 books to go, which is amazing. So let's get straight in with that blurb, okay? Dragons were meant to rule the world, but one man disagrees. Politics currently rules and Nevin Gooseman is using it to brainwash mortals. Soon everyone will fear dragons. Desperate to take the dragon elite down, Gooseman abducts the king of the Fae. King Rudolph Sweetwater may be many things, but a coward isn't one of them. Together, the Dragon Elite and the King work to try and discredit Nevin Gooseman. Will they be able to, before the public are horrified of dragons, putting them in danger of extinction once again? In the last book, King of the Fae Rudolph was kidnapped. In this one, it opens with Rudolph in captivity, where he has realised that Nevin and his cronies are trying to poison him, basically. They have poisoned his food in an attempt to remove Rudolph's magic. The thing is, Rudolph isn't such an idiot as everybody thinks he is. He's got smarts to him. He might be a bit dim and have his blonde moments, but he does have some smarty pants on him, and he figures out quite quickly that the food that he is given is depleting his magic, so he just stops eating. You have quite a few chapters just from Rudolph's point of view, which I love. We've never had this much point of view from somebody who isn't Sophia, so the fact that we get all that backstory with Rudolph is just brilliant. I think it's like the first 2 or 3 chapters is just from Rudolph, and then it goes back to Sophia, and then you just keep getting moments of just seeing what Rudolph is getting up to, and once he gets his magic back, he's able to just, like, when everybody goes to bed, Rudolph just gets up and gets out of his, like, little cell that he's been held in, and he's eating Nevin's food, he's messing with it, he's cracking into his computer to get evidence about how Nevin is trying to take down the elite. Yeah, this is very much a Rudolph coming out of his shell almost, and doing what he needs to do. Because when he realises that he could start to use his magic again after he gone on this like hunger strike, essentially, first he tries to escape, and then he overhears Nevin admitting to stuff, and he was just like, wait, no, I can't leave, because otherwise we'll never get the evidence. So he voluntarily goes back to his little holding cell and uses the time to continue the hunger strike, not eat any of the food, get his magic back, and then uses that magic to get the information that the elite need to take down Nevin. The thing is, though, it's not all wrapped up at the end of this book, because it seems that they've just pissed off Nevin even more. Even though they work to foil the schemes that Nevin's up to, even though they do essentially take down the ultimate plan of the moment, but at the end of the book Nevin is extremely pissed off. So Nevin's not gone, people. He's not gone. Yeah, I was very entertained by this book. You've got more of Lee, the assassin, on Royal Lane. Got plenty of information about the dragons, and I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. It's not, the quality is not going down at all. I feel like it's all on the same level. Nothing has ever been I'm not sure about this book. As I was going through it, it was just I was constantly wanting to know what's going to happen next, and now that they've just pissed off Nevin completely, I am wondering what Nevin's next goal is going to be. Yeah, I just love it so much. As I said, it's Rules of Righteousness. That is the front cover, as shown on Amazon. I read this on my Kindle app, on the shared library that me and my dad have, where we just buy books, stick it in, and then we're just reading all the books. My version has books 13 to 24, I think it is, because the first one was 1 to 12, so this is 13 to 24, so I'm on book 16 now, and I'm very interested as to how this is going to go forward. I will say, I really look forward to reading the author notes at the end of each book, because Sarah Noffke and Michael Anderle, when you see what they write in the author's notes at the end of each bit, it's just so funny because Sarah is from America, but then kind of she wrote all the stories. There's you get elements of the pandemic because it was written like 2019, 2020, so you do get elements of things throughout the stories of what the world was going through at the time. And because at the moment in the books they've just been finding the cure for an illness which is affecting the magicians, where it's called distortion, and it's where they kind of flicker in and flicker out until they ultimately fade away. And in this book you've got all these different potions and things that are being made to help the elite. So they're trying to, is it Bep, the potions girl in London and Whale Lane? So she's making a cure. She's replicating a cure for distortion because Nevin Gooseman already had a cure for it, so that he wasn't affected by the illness, because obviously he started this. And then Bep is also working on a cure for Ainsley, so that Ainsley can leave the Gullington without completely losing her marbles in her memory. So that's a really, really sad one about this book, and I'm worried because I'll admit this is the book that we say goodbye to Ainsley, where Ainsley is finally allowed to leave because her cure is fixed. It's all sorted, and it was a little heartbreaking reading those moments of Ainsley leaving, seeing what Hiker does for Ainsley, knowing that she's leaving, and I'm just there going, she has to come back. I mean, we're not finished yet. We're book 16 of 24. There is plenty of time for Ainsley and Hiker to have their moment. They better be put together by the end of the series, because that is the love story I'm here for. I mean, obviously Sophia and Wilder is that main love story now, but for me it's always the side characters. Like, I'm completely obsessed with Hiker and Ainsley and their relationship and what's going to happen going forward for those two. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Still got the funny. I'm now starting to think about who would play who in like a series of like a TV series of this. It won't be films. I can imagine this as a TV series, just because of how each book is set up. Yeah, because it's just like each book is like its own maybe 40-minute, hour-long episode, I think. Because I think there's enough in there to fill out like an hour episode, but there's too much to cover like 20 minutes, half an hour. So yeah, I'm starting to think about what actors in my mind would play who. At the moment, the only thing I've got is I want Kathy Bates to be Mama Jumba. Because I watched Kathy Bates in a TV series on Netflix, which just fed into that kind of hippie kind of lifestyle, and it was just like, yeah, Kathy Bates as Mama Jumba, that's the main one I have right now. I haven't got long until I need to log into my Zoom training, so I'm going to try to wrap this up now. It's still so funny when you look at like the sense of humour of Lunis, and you see like how many characters are so similar, and how you're just like, these two characters would really, really get along well. And it seems there's a part of the story for Sophia where in the end notes from author Sarah Noffke, she mentioned that actually it was part of a series that she'd written before, and she was kind of revisiting it by pulling it into the Uncommon Rider world. So I don't know if they're actually like separate stories, or if they were already part of the same world, and I just didn't know, because obviously this is the first time I've read any of Sarah Noffke and Michael Anderle books, so yeah, I don't know. But it seems like everything that she writes is possibly in the same universe, and that was how she was able to pull certain characters. And because she talks about how she was so glad to see these characters again, and how she wants to possibly work on bringing the characters in again at some point, maybe in a different series, I don't know. But yeah, just seeing those little hints of things from previous series that she's written, even though I haven't read them, but it makes me want to read them. Rule of Righteousness, Exceptional Sophia Beaufont, book 16. Ow, ow, ow. Yes, if you heard that and you were just like, yes, that did hurt right on the elbow. Anyway, I'm going to go make a cup of tea before my Zoom training starts. So yeah, Rule of Righteousness, Exceptional Sophia Beaufont, book 16, just funny, brilliant, and I'm not bored yet. I am not bored yet in the slightest. There's that front cover again for you. I hope you're enjoying these as much as I'm enjoying making them. But yeah, so I think I've got just enough time to go make a cup of tea before joining this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. It's just a little button. If you wanted to, you could just press the button and then just completely ignore me. I will see you next time with another video. Mwah! Yorkshire tea awaiting to me.